So like I mentioned earlier, last Friday was your first look at Activity 4.4. You folks became familiar with a term called the anecdote. Anecdote is a short story. Generally, it's passed down from family to family, and it gets exaggerated each time it's told. Okay? Aside from that, you got to see an example of a verbal anecdote. So you saw comedian Jerry Seinfeld, and he was relaying a specific anecdote from his life. What was the topic of his stand-up set that you saw?
Halloween.
It was Halloween. What were some of the humorous moments that he was trying to relay to his audience about Halloween? Yeah, Santiago? The sheep's mask, the costume. Okay. One more time?
Candy.
Candy. How kids react to candy. How it's their life. Uh-huh. Having to wear a really cheap jacket over his poor, silly costume. Huh?
When you get older during Halloween.
Right? How you react when you get older during Halloween. It's not as big of a deal. So today what we're going to be doing is looking at a written version of an anecdote. We're going to break it down, and then you folks are going to start developing your own. So in step 9, it's telling us that we're going to have to mark the text, and there's 3 markings that we're going to be using. We're going to have the text to self, text to text, and text to world. Now, you folks have done this in previous English classes. You definitely did it when you read Tangerine back in 7th grade. So when we're going through this short story or this anecdote, ask yourself, what kind of connection can you make to it? All right? Now, a little quick quibbit about our author. Skysko was actually an elementary school teacher. He started off teaching younger kids, and he just verbally told story after story, and he realized he enjoyed that actually more than preaching. So he ended up leaving the field, became a published author, and he's gotten a few numerous awards for his work. Something else to know about, it does say in that segment that he's the oldest of 6 brothers. And the amount of brothers in the family is kind of important with the piece that we're going to read. So go ahead, turn the page, and the actual excerpt from his full essay, Brothers, is down below. I'm going to go ahead and read this one to you. While I'm reading, you go ahead and mark away if you see any kind of connections. All right, so this is from John Skyko's essay, Brothers. Brothers are the guys you stick with and stick up for. The Skysko brothers are scattered all over the country now, but we still get together once a year to play a family golf tournament. We named it after our dad, Lou, and his favorite car, his old Cadillac Coupe de Ville. We call the golf tournament the Coupe de Lou Classic. We all grew up playing golf because Dad Lou, an elementary school principal, taught junior golf and gave us lessons during summers off. And I'm sure my brothers would want me to point out the amazing fact that I am the winner of both the very first Coupe de Lou, 1983, and the latest Coupe de Lou, 2004. But of all the Skysko brother memories, I believe it was a family car trip that gave us our finest moment of brotherhood. We were driving cross-country from Michigan to Florida. All of us, including the family cat, a guy cat, naturally, and the family station wagon. Okay, think of your regular standard car, jammed with 8 bodies and a cat. You're traveling from the top of the nation to the bottom of the nation. How uncomfortable and gross is that going to get? Gets hot, gets stinky, it gets sweaty. Gross. I don't like being near people. And I bet at some point you had to have like the younger brother sitting in the lap because he ran out of room. Not a fan. All right, let's see what's happening. Somewhere mid-trip, we stopped at one of those Stucky's Rest Stop restaurants to eat and load up on Stucky's candy. We ate lunch, ran around like maniacs in the warm sun, then packed back into the station wagon. Mom and Dad up front, Jim, John, Tom, Greg, Brian, Jeff, and the cat in back. Somebody dropped his Stucky's pecan log roll, it's a type of candy, on the floor. The cat found it It must have scarfed every bit of it, because 2 minutes later, we heard that awful sound of a cat getting ready to barf. The cat puked up the pecan nut log. Jeff, the youngest and smallest and closest to the floor, was the first to go. He got one look and whiff of that pecan nut cat neck, and he was all sticky lunch all over the cat. The puke-covered cat jumped on Brian, and Brian dropped on Greg. Greg upchucked on Tom. Tom put a bit of stucky lunch back on Greg. Jim and I rolled down the windows and hung out as far as we could, yelling in group puke horror. Can you imagine that? We got 6 boys in the back of the car with a cat. The cat is covered in puke. Can you imagine it was like chill about it, being like, oh, I just have to clean myself. Meow. No, it probably freaked out, started clawing on someone, so the puke-covered hair is starting to whip its way around the car. Then you got the one brother that loses it, probably like barks in front of the seat. Everybody sees it, smells it. Now you're having like bark flinging from one corner of the car to the other. You got these 2 kids freaking out, clawing their way out. Can you imagine being on the highway watching that? And you see these 2 children like screaming, "Aah!" And you just see this bark flying through the windows. Oh, that's so horrible. It's so wrong. Well, God Lou didn't know what had hit the back of the car. No time to ask questions. He just pulled off to the side of the road. All of the brothers, Jim and John and Tom and Greg and Brian and Jeff, spilled out of the puke wagon and fell on the grass, gagging and yelling and laughing until we couldn't laugh anymore. So, what does it all mean? What essential guy wisdom did I learn from that? Stick with your brothers. Stick up for your brothers. And if you ever drop a pecan nut log in a car with your 5 brothers and your cat, you'll probably stick to your brothers. So hopefully you made a couple of connections. I'm sure some of you have been part of family car trips before. I certainly have. I'm sure you have individual reactions to when you see or smell or hear puke occur. I've got my own little text-to-self connection. First time I read this, I started cracking up because all I could think of was the first time I came to Vegas. I was 10 years old. We were doing a family trip with another family, and we had flown out. We were going to be staying at the Mirage, which was relatively new when I was younger. Then we were going to go to Lake Mead. We were going to be on a houseboat. And then we were going to drive to Arizona. So last day we're in Vegas, I ate at the Excalibur buffet. I ate a meatball. Meatball was not good. I got food poisoning. Yay for the last day in Vegas. So the entire night I'm sick. Next morning, come on, John, we're going to go in the car for a 4-hour car ride. Because that's exactly what you want to do when you've been puking all night and you feel terrible, right? Is sit in a hot car surrounded by people. And there were 8 people in this van. There was enough room, but, not so good. You don't want to be there. So I'm all the way in the back. I chose to be in the back because, smart, right? I don't feel good, I'm going to sit in the back. So I'm sitting back there. My dad's driving. I don't feel so good. So my dad says, let's go to Dairy Queen, because that's what you want to have when you're sick. Milk. Dairy. Yeah, good choice, Dad. So we drive to the Dairy Queen. I get a blizzard. Bad choice. Stomach starts feeling funky. Good. What? I'm driving. I don't feel so good. What do you want me to... Guys, I exorcist vomited to the very front of this car. I was all the way in the back, and that stuff went 5 feet in front of me as far as it could go. It could actually hit the back of the passenger's car seat. And not only that, it nicked my sister on the shoulder. It got into the hair of one of the girls that we were on the trip with. I mean, it careened wherever it could go. I just made an absolute mess. But every time I read that, I totally get driven back into that moment because the reactions of everybody, spilling out of the car totally happened. People were scrambling to get out of the car, and I'm just like, I feel so much better. Well, everyone's freaking out. So, yeah, that's my little text-to-self connection. There's one final piece that I want us to do with this, though. I want us to mark what exactly was the universal truth. What was the lesson that was learned? And I think every single one of you can pull it out.
It's 2 years ago.
The idea of stick in with the brothers. So brotherhood, family, you've got each other's back, that kind of situation. And even in dire times, such as puking, you'll always have each other. All right? Exactly, you have each other's puke on. Isn't that lovely thought? So on the opposite page, 249, there's a strategy that we're going to be practicing in class today. It's something that you're going to use for the anecdote homework, but it's also going to repeat itself 2 more times in this unit because you're going to use it for your essay. So just a few quick marks about this piece. Twist is an analysis piece that you use now with poetry. You use it with informational text, you use it with novels. It makes you critically analyze the text so that you can answer an analytical prompt. Now, you folks have, for your embedded assessment, a prompt that's asking you to analyze the humor of text. So you're going to be using this formula, this twist strategy, so that you can do that. Now, right below, we have this twist chart that I'm going to be giving you the responses to fill in. That way you've got a backup, you have ideas of what it is that you need to do. So the first element of twist is analyzing the tone, so the author's attitude of his topic. Well, his topic isn't necessarily barking in a car, it's family. The idea that family is good, you always have one another. So his tone is definitely humorous. He's definitely trying to get the message across that this was hysterical. This wasn't one of those lovey-dovey, oh, family. No, it was, oh my God, family. What? Oh, sick. Making it hysterical, side-splitting even. Second element of the twist strategy is you analyze the word choice. So our driving question, what was the specific diction that he chose to get that humorous effect? Well, instead of talking like an adult, he kind of brought himself back to his kid roots. So instead of using that vomiting scene and being analytical about it, like the one vomited to the left, which then vomited to the right, which thus created the vomit. No. He starts talking about puking and upchucking, a cat scarfing something down instead of eating. So it was a little bit of slang, but he also decided to be more of a kid. Okay, third element of our twist strategy is we look at the imagery. So the driving question there, what's the specific detail that he's using so that you can imagine being there? So things that he's kind of pulling up, and these aren't the only, the idea of this elusive pecan log. I doubt many of you know what that is. It's essentially a caramel tube that's covered in pecan nuts. Sometimes they make them with peanuts, sometimes they do it with almonds. I mean, it's gross, and this thing is like a solid foot long. So imagining like a foot-long candy that a cat is scarfing down in like 2 minutes, that's impressive. But not only that, instead of saying, well, he vomited, we've got this, he's blowing his sticky lunch. Oh, you can't get more descriptive than that. That's just snarly. I could go into more detail, but we just ate, so maybe I shouldn't. All right, the fourth element that we analyzed is the style, and there's 2 questions here. We're just going to look at the first one now. How is the author using language to create humor? So what kind of language is he pulling from? Well, there's essentially 3 types that he's hitting at. The idea of family language. I can guarantee that you folks have little notes, messages, words, phrases that only you and your family use. So for this author, the idea of the Coupe de Lou Classic. It's essentially a fake golf tournament with the family, but they decided to name it after their father's favorite car and after their dad. So the Coupe de Lou Classic. He is very much exaggerating and using a lot of hyperboles to get the idea to you of how hysterical it is. People spinning out of a puke wagon. Can you imagine a clown car? Because that's essentially what they're driving, and they've got this many people in there. And kids shoving each other into the puke piles. And, no! Slamming into each other. Who knows where the cat's at this point? Maybe they swung out the window. Who knows? No muscat. And then, of course, again, the idea of the slang that he's using, the kid speak, so the kid language. The second question for style was the intended response. What do you think the author wanted? I think we could make the assumption that he was hoping people would laugh, maybe chuckle. And a couple of you totally decided that this was irreverent humor to you. You found it kind of gross, kind of disturbing, because I hear the when you start getting into the description of what's happening. The last element of twist that we analyze is the theme, and you folks know what the theme is. You already highlighted it. The idea of family always being there for each other, brotherhood, bonds that can never be broken even by puke, stick with your brothers, all that. And stick to your brothers. Now, while you folks are finishing up your notes, I'm going to go ahead and hand out this anecdote homework. I did tell you I was going to give you about 30 minutes, and lo and behold, we're just at that 30-minute mark. That way you folks can really take a crack at this. Once you give the handout, go ahead and put your name on it. I'm just going to do a really quick overview of it. That way if you've got questions, you can ask them. All right, let's do a quick breakdown here. Give me another. So 2 sides to this homework. I don't want you to think it's going to take you forever. It really won't. The front side is the twist strategy. The back side is where you would go ahead and write the anecdote down. So taking a look at the front side, there's 2 basic story boxes at the top. Tell me what's the subject or the topic of your anecdote or of your humorous memory. And then second, who were the people that were involved, what was the place, what were the specific events. Now, if you're having trouble thinking of a humorous event in your life, maybe you present the story that a parent has told you about them. Maybe you then create your own, and that's okay if you have to. There's nothing wrong with that. All right? Below those 2 boxes is the twist strategy. You don't need to write incomplete sentences on the front. This is essentially just you drafting ideas. Okay? Make sure that it is school appropriate, though. You got to make sure. Okay? Now, if you flip to the back side, where all the lines are at, this is where you can write your anecdote. If you choose to type, by all means, you can type as well. With regard to length, it's got to be at least 3 paragraphs, so your standard idea of a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? So if you're really focused on length, 3 paragraphs is what you got. Okay? Most of the time is for you folks to go ahead and work through your anecdote. If you get writer's block or you're stuck, you can always set this anecdote aside and pull out your comic strip or political cartoon. For some of you, maybe it's easier to do that, and it's easier to write at home, whatever you need to do. All right, let me know if you have questions, but it's all you guys.